April 2010. One of the Champions League semifinals was about to be played. A match that, for at least a week, looked like it might actually steal the spotlight from Justin Bieber's baby video. Barcelona versus Inter Milan. This was Guardiola's Barcelona, the team that had already done the unthinkable. Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Supercopa, Club World Cup. If you'd ask them, they probably could have won a cup for England too. They were that good. In the round of 16, they crushed Stuttgart 5-1 on aggregate, and then put a 6 past Arsenal in the quarters, with Messi scoring 4 of them. And there, right in their path, stood Mourinho, Inter's manager at the time. Yes, José Mourinho, public enemy number 1 of beautiful football. The kind of guy who didn't use the team bus to arrive at the match, but to park it in front of goal, handbrake on and all. Because his Inter wasn't just any team, it was a machine built to crush dreams, break up passes, and counterattack like a pack of wolves. And to make it even more personal, remember this, back in 2008, when Barcelona was choosing their next coach, they picked Guardiola over Mourinho. Even though Mourinho had history with Barca's backroom staff in the 90s, that snob, he took it personally. That's how one of the most unforgettable Champions League clashes began. Winner goes to the final, and not just any final, the Bernabéu final, a dream scenario for Barca fans, and a nightmare for Florentino Perez. The first leg was Milan, and although many still saw Barcelona as the clear favorite, especially with Messi looking unstoppable, Mourinho's game plan quickly started to pay off.
In Italy they were using the word gabbia, that I think the real translation is about like a jail to Messi. Everybody was responsible for any position that Messi could go.
The first 15 minutes, nothing dangerous from either side. Then finally, Milito had a chance. But in the 19th minute, Barcelona took control. Maxwell sent in a cross, and Pedro tapped it in for the opener. Okay, business as usual. Surely it was just a matter of time before the second and third goals came. Classic Barca, right? Or maybe not. A deflected header from Lucio. Then in the 20th minute, Milito blew another chance. But if there's one man you can forgive for missing in this Inter-Champions League run, it was Milito. After so much persistence, in the 30th minute, cross from Eto'o, Pandev recovers it, lays it off to Schneider, and this time, Inter didn't miss. Goal 1-1. The system was coming to life. Pandev was making Dani Alves look silly, the Messi jail was locking in, and Lucio was clearing everything inside, giving us a spoiler of the defensive masterclass he'd deliver in the second leg. 48th minute, Inter wins the ball back from none other than Messi, launches a counterattack, and just a minute after missing a clear chance, Milito decides it's better to pass than to shoot. He lays it off to Maicon, who finishes cleanly, 2-1 for Inter. Barcelona tried to respond, but whenever they broke through the defense, Julio Cesar was there to back them up. Still, Mourinho wasn't leaving anything to chance. He gave Stankovic very clear instructions on how to gently handle Barcelona's players. Minutes later, the man who'd been trying all night finally got it right. Milito scored, maybe in an offside position, but hey, it was 2010. If Thierry Henry's handball wasn't called, this definitely wasn't going to be. Milan erupted. Scoring 3 against this Barcelona was almost unheard of, and much of it was thanks to Mourinho's master plan. And yes, Stankovic was following his orders to the letter. By the end, all that was left was Alves' dive, a Pedro bicycle kick, and Balotelli, who had come on to try something from distance, though he'd have to wait a few more years before showing off those abs because in the second leg, he'd be warming the bench. Full-time whistle, and Inter already had one foot in the final, but of course, playing at home is one thing, stepping into the Camp Nou is a whole different beast. Still, in true Mourinho fashion, he kept pouring fuel on the fire in the lead-up to the second leg, accusing Barcelona of being obsessed with playing the final at the Bernabéu.
This is not a dream anymore, this is an obsession, and the obsession is called Madrid and Santiago Bernabéu.
April 20 arrived and the lineups had just a few changes. The biggest being Gabriel Milito stepping in for the suspended Puyol, meaning this wasn't just a Champions League semi anymore. It was Milito versus Milito. Gabriel for Barca, Diego for Inter. early signs were clear. Gabriel Milito took a shot, then Ibra had a go. Neither found the net, but both chances hinted at one thing. This was going to be a tough night for scoring. Meanwhile, Mourinho was already doing his thing, provoking Barca from the sidelines, while his players joined in on the chaos. Zlatan had his shirt torn and Barca demanded a foul.
Man, that's smart.
But Messi had his own way of clapping back by knocking down Maicon. Everything was going according to plan, just like in the first leg. Inter had built a wall so solid it seemed even the referee was part of it. The Messi jail was still doing its job, and despite Barca's intricate passing combinations, they kept running into a blue and black blockade. The dream was getting closer, until the 28th minute. Thiago Motta gave Busquets a little slap to the face, nothing too dramatic, but Busquets turned into Neymar for a moment, putting on an Oscar-worthy performance to convince the ref it was a straight red. And he succeeded! If Inter had impressed with their defense and counterattacks in the first leg, now they were about to spend the next hour defending for their lives. Their formation? They went from 4-2-3-1 to 10-0-0. Julio Cesar was crucial for this mission. Still years away from his 2014 Brazil meltdown, here he was wasting time like a master and saving the few real chances Messi had. The first half ended with Yaya Touré attempting what looked more like an American football field goal, and Mourinho getting in Pep's head, walking over to him to say, "Don't start the party just yet, this match isn't over." The second half began with Zlatan trying to make peace with Pep by pulling off a bicycle kick, but it was as badly as his entire stint at Barcelona. Just 10 minutes in, and Mourinho already needed a water break, knowing he was about to sweat more than a Liverpool fan watching Darwin Núñez step up to take a penalty. As expected, failed kicks didn't win Pep's heart, and by the 62nd minute, he subbed Zlatan out of Bojan. Jeffrey came in too, but none of the changes made a difference. Barcelona were completely shut down, nothing was working, not through the air, not on the ground, not even from distance. It took 83 minutes for something to happen. Piqué, playing as a makeshift striker, turned like Ronaldo Nazario and finally scored 1-0. Suddenly, Barca wake up, remembering they were in a Champions League semi-final. In just 1 minute, Julio Cesar had to make two crucial saves. They only needed one more goal, but even luck had abandoned him. Bojan looked like he'd delivered the miracle, but Yaya Touré's questionable handball just before the goal crushed the stadium's celebration. Final minutes, and Inter kept clearing every ball Barcelona threw at them, until finally, the final whistle. One of the greatest feats in football history was complete. The madman who had drawn up the blueprint to stop Guardiola's Barca had done it. Now all that was left was Mourinho sprinting across the pitch in ecstasy. Not even the sprinklers Barcelona turned on could stop the celebration.